Hello everybody, welcome to Saira's Kitchen Corner. Today I am making a few different batches of cookies from the same brown butter. So this is my first time doing this. I have made brown butter chocolate chip cookies, but not all different kinds of cookies. So first we are going to brown our butter. I am taking a big block of butter here. It's about, let's see how much it is. It's 16 ounces of butter, and we're gonna first brown it. So on medium heat, we're gonna let it melt and get to a point where you can actually see it becoming golden brown. So it's been about 3 minutes, and now my butter has completely melted. Now we're gonna continue to cook it until it gets to that golden brown color. You do have to stir it constantly, and you cannot leave this alone. Because the moment you leave it alone, the butter at the bottom will burn. So you have to stir this constantly. It's been about 10 minutes that I've been stirring it constantly, and look how bubbly it is, but it's still not where we want it. So we're gonna continue to stir it constantly and let it cook for another 5 minutes. It's been about 15 minutes since we've been cooking this butter, and this is what we want, this luscious. There's a lot of foam on it. The foam will settle, but here's a luscious brown butter. Now we have to let it cool down to come as close to room temperature as possible before we can move forward. Otherwise, the eggs that we add to it will start cooking and curdle. Our brown butter is completely cooled now, and it smells like butterscotch. It smells amazing, and it looks like liquid gold. So I'm gonna put that aside and mix up my dry ingredients first. Here I have 4 cups of all-purpose flour, and to that I'm going to add about a teaspoon and a half of baking powder and half a teaspoon of salt. And I'm gonna mix it really well. To our brown butter, I'm going to add a cup and a half of brown sugar and half a cup of regular sugar. We have to whisk it really well and mix it at least for a couple of minutes until the butter and all the sugars are pretty well combined. After the sugar and the butter have mixed really well, we're going to add 3 eggs one at a time and mix them really well. So all of our eggs have been whisked in really well, and the mixture is pretty thick now. At this point, I'm going to add my vanilla, about a tablespoon of vanilla essence, and now we're going to add our dry ingredients in here. And once we add our dry ingredients, we're going to fold them in. Once everything is mixed up, this is what your dough should look like. Now I'm going to divide this into 3 different portions because I'm going to add 3 different things to it, and I'll show you just in a minute. Here I've divided my dough into 3 different portions. This is a smaller one because this is an experiment. And I'm gonna put chocolate chips in one. The experiment I'll show you in a bit. And then I'm gonna put white chocolate and macadamia in this one. So here I have about a cup of chocolate chunks. So I'm gonna put those in here and mix really well. And now all of these would need to rest in the refrigerator for at least 30 to 45 minutes before I start making cookies. Here I have my white chocolate, about half a cup, and 1/4 of a cup of macadamia nuts. Now to this experiment one, I'm going to add about 1/4 of a cup of toffee bits some white chocolate and some chocolate chips. And I'm using milk chocolate chips. Let's see how this turns out. And the last thing to add to our experiment is a few crushed graham crackers. So now all three of them are going into the fridge for about 30 minutes. So it's been over 30 minutes and I have lined my tray with parchment paper, and now we're going to start making our cookies. First, I'm going to make the chocolate chunk cookies and just roughly shape them like this. The one thing we have to be careful about is that they're all roughly the same size so that they can all cook at the same time. So here I've made 12 cookies out of the batter that I had made, and now I'm going to bake it on 375 for about 8 to 10 minutes. Now it's the turn of our experiment cookies. Let's see how they turned out. So I'm gonna quickly mold them. And again, we're going to bake them at 375 for about 8 to 10 minutes. This is what they look like. I pulled the cookies out after 8 minutes and they look perfectly done. Now they're too hot right now. I have to wait at least 15 minutes before I can bite into one of them. All right, so it's been about 15 minutes and now I can actually touch them. Oh my God, look at that. Ooey gooey and so delicious. Thank you for watching, and just so you know, these are available in frozen form or in freshly baked form if you'd like to buy them. Thank you and have a great day.